afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get set for race number 9 of the second season of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. We are getting set here for 41 laps of racing, continuing on our Kansas race weekend. We've already gotten things off to a rather volatile start here this weekend at this 1.5 mile speedway, and things may just get a little bit hairier as we continue on the progress of this weekend. Last week, we were at Talladega Superspeedway, and we saw Christian Merrick Jr. pick up his first career win in the Pizza Hut X Series. We'll have to see what happens here in today's race at Kansas, as so far this year, we have had a total of 8 races and 7 different race winners. Can we make it 8 here today, or will we see someone join J Osborne as a 2-time winner this year? P London, a rookie, lines up on the pole position alongside of another rookie in Tony Green. They are both hoping that a first-time winner goes victory lane here today themselves, as behind them J Gilbert and Jacob Rose make up row 2, along with Alex Rowe completing the top 5. All those drivers looking for their first career wins in the Pizza Hut X Series. Going to be splitting this race up into 3 stages, obviously. We'll tell you what those stages are in just a moment, but for now, we're going to go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command to fire them up. 41 laps, which means that the 3 stages will be as so. The completion of lap 10 will be the end of stage 1. Completion of lap 20, the end of stage 2. Then we move into stage 3, which I have a very interesting feeling could end up being a pit strategy stage, where at the completion of lap 41, when the checker flag waves, that will be the end of stage 3, our third and final stage. Be interesting to see if it is going to be a fuel strategy race, because we ran 27 laps in the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter series here yesterday, and they did not have to come to pit road. So I wonder, with adding on that extra 14 laps, if it will be a pit strategy race. More than likely, it will be a pit strategy race in tomorrow's Hershey's Cup Series main event, as we believe we're adding on another bunch of laps. I think it's about 54 laps tomorrow, if memory serves me correctly, that they'll be running. I don't think they can run 54 laps without pitting at least once. So we'll see if it's going to be a fuel strategy race or not. Your point standings coming into this race: Jesse Turner is the points leader. Benny Watson has now jumped up to second, and he's now only 95 points back from Jesse Turner. So they're closing it down. Christian Merrick Jr. with his win jumped to third. Tony Green and Seth Cole, that is the top 5. Then it's Shelly, Lopes, Voyles, M McIntire, and Kyle Lynch, your top 10 in the stands coming in today's race. Green flag is out. We're underway here at Kansas. London kind of diamonding it into the corner. I think that might have been on purpose too. I mean, you're able to then move up, make sure that outside line doesn't get momentum, and then drive it deep into turn 1. And that gave him a very good entry and a very good exit, as he'll hang on to the top position, and he will lead the first lap of this race. So a valuable bonus point there for Pichu London, that number 90 team. Second going on, Alexander Rowe to the inside. Well, not anymore. Now he's to the outside as Jacob Rose crosses over, and he'll try and take that second position. Caution is out. Yellow flag out for the first time here today already at Kansas, and Jacob Rose wants to lead us under yellow. He's trying to get a run here out of 4, but I don't think he's going to quite get there. Nope, about a car length off. Pichu London will lead us under our first yellow flag of the day. That didn't take long at all. I think our first and only caution came out on lap 2 in the non-charter race here yesterday in the Hershey's Cup Series as well. And it looks like someone had an incident off of turn 2, which, if memory serves me correctly, is the exact spot that we had the incident take place for our only caution yesterday. So turn 2 definitely seemed to be the trouble spot here at Kansas. We'll take a look at a replay of what happened as Pichu London leads us under our first yellow flag here today at Kansas Speedway. We had 2 incidents take place, one with Stuart Gratton, the other with Charlie Buxton. We'll look at the one first with our Bristol Dirt winner. They were almost practically 5 wide here. You see Noah Pontzer getting moved up the track by Ryan Brommer, and then contact there between Ace Garcia and PJ Williams sends them up the track into the leaf filter Chevrolet, and oh man, Garcia up and over. That's hard impact for both Grattan and Garcia. Garcia up and on his side. I think the car did come back to rest. We'll have to look further up, see if anybody got into him. I think they did. I don't think he was the only one involved in that. Oh, there's the car smoking. That's Matthew Dallio. Let's rewind just a little bit here. Sorry for the unprofessionalism, but my goodness, what a wild ride there for Garcia. Good grief. Now let's see who else gets a piece of this as the rear end comes back down, right down into the racing lane, right in front of Seth Cole. He's going to nail him. Jesse Turner gets a piece of that. Matthew Dallio's involved. And I thought it was Matthew Dallio who was smoking. It might actually have been Jesse Turner who was smoking. It might have just been the fact that Dallio was running in Turner's tire tracks, and the points leader may have been involved in this first incident of the day. Now let's jump back here and see what happens. Oh, last week's winner, Christian Merrick Jr. was involved in this as well as Charlie Buxton. Oh, they're the ones that had the secondary wreck coming off of 2. Chris Dollerton, little contact into Jesse Turner. Then he jumps up into Charlie Buxton, and then Buxton gets hooked by Christian Merrick Jr. And Buxton couldn't get his car off the wall. His car is still sideways, and then Merrick Jr. makes more contact with him and goes spinning down towards the inside apron on the back straightaway. Wow, that did not take long. They were testing 3 wide, 4 wide, and 5 wide here at Kansas. Not a good idea, and you see the end result. I hope Stuart Grattan's okay and Ace Garcia. They took some pretty hard hits, and Garcia's car took a rather wild ride here to start off this race at Kansas. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, this race already one that some drivers are going to want to forget as they are back behind the wall, and we haven't even reached a quarter of the way through this race. 4 drivers in total: Stuart Grattan, Ace Garcia, Charlie Buxton, and indeed it was Matthew Dallio, the car that we saw smoking. I thought it might have been Jesse Turner, but it was Dallio who got involved there. He ended up, I think, having the 9 car land down on top of his Ford Mustang in that wreck, and that's what caused some internal injuries to that machine, and he is out of the race. So 39 through 42nd is where those drivers will respectively finish here today. As we get ready to go back green, it's P2 London out in front, Jacob Rose, Alexander Rowe, Tony Green, and Eli Bright. Then it's Elijah Gilbert, Nick Johnson, Jordan Lopez, Jonathan Zoerlein, and Matt McIntire. The green flag is back out. Apologize for that pause there. I was trying to remember if it was Matt McIntire in the 3 or William Brock in the 3. Brock's in the 62, so I was trying to make sure I didn't say the wrong name. Tony Green got a good start. Immediately got by Alexander Rowe for the 3rd position. And now sets his sights on the NOS Energy Toyota Camry of Jacob Rose. Now these drivers at the start of this race were double wide, which allowed them the opportunity to try 3 and 4 wide situations. I was going to say, how keen are they going to be going 3 wide now? And they are 3 wide for the race lead, almost 4 wide for the race lead, going through turns 1 and 2. P2 London probably thinking, what the heck happened, as they're 3 wide again. Rowe, Green, and Rose going into turn 3. There was some contact right there with the right rear of Tony Green, the left front of Jacob Rhodes. The wonder the 85 didn't get hooked straight up into the outside wall there in 4. And at the line, Alexander Rowe just barely beats out Eli Bright. Bright now will go to the race lead. Oh, Gilbert! Yikes! Nearly hooking the 93 as he got a big run there out of turn 2. And he nearly clobbered the left rear quarter panel of Alexander Rowe. Well, I guess that caution didn't settle anything down. They are still racing hard up here at the front. Jordan Lopez to the bottom. Door rubbing between Elijah Gilbert and Tony Green. Here comes J Shelly into the mix. And we had a spin out of 2 apparently, but no caution. I don't know who it involved. There's Seth Cole. Man, that car How is that car still running? Running the Blue Hope Foundation scheme this week, but I don't know how that car's not behind the wall. I think maybe, just maybe, at some point, NNSCRA officials are going to have to black flag that 99. Tell him to come to pit road. Although maybe if he is meeting minimal speed, then he's fine. But still, I don't understand how that car is still running. J Shelly trying to take away the 4th position now from J Lopes. He'll get it. And here comes the 5 car of Romero. Nicholas Romero. Boy, I'm getting the Romeros mixed up. I did that last week at Talladega, too. J Gilbert in this mix. A Baranauskas is up here. James Qualls in the mix there in the 27 car. As we may have a battle for the lead here. Alexander Rowe chipping away at the advantage Eli Bright currently holds. Eli Bright going to victory lane a few weeks ago at Atlanta? No. Where was it? All of a sudden I'm drawing a blank. I don't remember which track it was. It was at Texas. That's where it was. What'd I say? Atlanta? Yeah, that wasn't right. But like I mentioned at the top of the program, the only 2-time winner this season that may have himself a spot locked up in this season's chase for the championship is Joshua Osborne. If Eli Bright can win here today, then he could join Joshua Osborne as a driver possibly confirmed in the chase for the championship. Best battle going on around the 3rd position. James Qualls in possession of that podium spot right now. James Shelly trying to reel him in. Shelly, we mentioned, 6th in the point standings coming to this race. James Qualls, on the other hand, 31st in the points. Looked like he was going to have a good run last week at Talladega, but pit stops kind of shuffled that around. He did gain 2 spots last week, but trying to continue to climb up the ladder is James Qualls, who was in the Pizza X Series chase for the championship last year. Still a long ways to go in this season, so plenty of time to be able to work your way up, and especially if you can just get yourself into the top 30 in the points and have a trip to victory lane, which Qualls could accomplish and kill 2 birds with 1 stone if he takes a checkered flag here today at Kansas. Shelly has lost touch with Qualls. He's about to get reeled in by Nicholas Romero for that 4th position. On the other hand, James Qualls has reeled in the top 2. So now we got 3 drivers up here battling for the race lead. Bright, Rowe, and Qualls. Bright, the only one of those 3 that's found victory lane already this season. Alexander Rowe, the only one of these 3 that hasn't found victory lane, period, in the Pizza X Series. And James Qualls now, big run there into turn 1. And he is going to get a nice side draft there on the bottom, and James Qualls will move to 2nd. So now Eli Bright looks in his rearview mirror and sees the red, green, and white colors of the Castrol GTX Chevrolet Camaro as the image in his rearview mirror. And Qualls is looking for more. He is closing the gap between himself and Eli Bright. And he may have thoughts about making a move here down the back straightaway into 3. Maybe as soon here as turn 2. Boy, his car rolls nicely through the center of the corner. He had to lift a little to avoid running into the back of Eli Bright's Chevy Camaro, and now Qualls steps out. There may have been a little bit of contact there. It looked like Eli Bright tried to throw the block, and Qualls was going to have none of it. James Qualls is going to go to the race lead here at Kansas. That's going on for the 5th position right now. That is Jacob Rose now getting by Nicholas Romero. Joe Gibbs Racing picking up their 1st win of the season last week at Daegu with Christian Merrick Jr.'s victory. Jacob Rose would love to be able to make it 2 wins in a row for the Toyota Camry team. Got an interesting battle going on back here. Carson Gum, Jordan Lopez, Tony Green, Elijah Gilbert, Benny Watson, 2nd in the points. This is for the 8th, or make that 7th position on back right at the moment. And those positions hotly contested at this point in time. Carson Gum looks like he'll hang on to the spot for the moment. And here comes Benny Watson, the defending champion of this series. He's been just kind of popping up in the top 10 week after week. And like I mentioned, last week was kind of a very unusual sensation where someone actually cut into Jesse Turner's point lead. Now 95-point separation between Benny Watson and Jesse Turner, and right now I'm not exactly sure where Jesse Turner is running, but with Watson right now in 8th, he would again be cutting into Turner's points lead here today. Let's see, where in the world? There is Turner. Last time by was scored in the 27th position. There's last week's winner, P Merrick Jr. way back here behind Julio Cesar. Oh, caution! Caution's out. It looks like it might have been for Seth Cole. Seth Cole, the lap machine. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa! Where's the leader? Where's James Qualls? Oh, no. Don't tell me it happened again for the second straight week. No. Do not tell me. Oh, my goodness. For the second straight day. No. For those of you that don't know, yesterday, in the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race, Caitlin Sang was leading the way. Oh my goodness, it's in the same spot too. It's on the front straightaway into 1. Caitlin Sang yesterday in the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race was leading the race, was en route to winning. On the white flag lap, went to pass a lap machine in Ryan George, and Ryan George flat out wrecked her from the race lead. I have a feeling we may have just had deja vu all over again. I think that James Qualls may have gotten wrecked by a slower machine in Seth Cole. And Ryan George had to pay the piper. A 25-point penalty was given to him for yesterday's action. Seth Cole may be suffering the same penalty here today, as Eli Bright is the race leader as a result. And oh boy, I don't want to have to go back and look at this replay, but I think we're going to have to. Oh man, please tell me it wasn't deja vu all over again here at Kansas. Contact back there between the Romeros, Nicholas and Joseph. And off pit road. Oh, it says gonna be close. Eli Bright just barely gets it. So he'll lead us under our caution, and he'll lead us for the restart. Let's go back and look at a replay of what happened. Oh boy. Alright, to have it happen once in a race weekend is crazy. To have it happen twice, 2 days in a row, is uncanny. In the exact same spot, almost deja vu, exactly the same thing that happened yesterday in the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race. Qualls goes to the high side to pass Seth Cole. Seth Cole apparently didn't realize which line Qualls wanted to take. He was moving up, I guess, to get out of the way, and he just puts Qualls in the wall, and the two of them spin down to the inside. Now, the fortunate thing for Qualls is he's going to have time to be able to try and move his way back up through the field. Caitlin Sang's wreck took place on the final lap, but NNSCRA officials going to have to take a look at that one and see if Seth Cole's going to have to suffer the same penalty that Ryan George did in yesterday's Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race. But James Qualls from the lead gets wrecked here at Kansas. I'm having some real worriment for whoever's going to be the race leader in tomorrow's Hershey's Cup Series charter race if they start getting around some slower lap traffic. Good grief. Lightning has struck twice in 2 days here at Kansas. Nobody out of the race after that incident. James Qualls continues, and as you can see, there is Seth Cole still continuing on as well in the 99. Tyler Markle, I'm sorry, not Tyler Markle, make that Kyle Thomas rather. I keep saying Tyler Markle. I keep going back to last season. Kyle Thomas in the 48 is on the tail end of the lead lap. He actually came to pit road just before that caution came out. He got out ahead of the leaders, but he did not get out ahead of the pace car, so he'll restart right ahead of the leaders. Eli Bright is the race leader over Nicholas Romero, James Shelly, Benny Watson, and Alexander Rowe. That's Carson Gum, J Gilbert, Matt McIntire, Jacob Rose, and A Baranauskas. James Qualls continuing on, still on the lead lap in the 27th position. We'll have to see if he makes any forward progress. And we have been told that Seth Cole, he is still running on the racetrack, but he is going to suffer 25-point penalty today for not yielding to the race leader. So I'm actually surprised they didn't ask him to park, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why he's actually still out there on the track. To be perfectly honest, he's a menace right now on track. There's no way that car is up to speed. And he's already wreaked havoc with a race leader. So 2 cautions so far today, one taking place in stage 1, this second one taking place in stage 3. There's Eli Bright trying to get around Kyle Thomas' machine, who's up to speed. The caution's out again, and I swear to God, if it was the 99 that caused it, I'm going to personally go out there on track myself and wreck him out of this race. Well, Eli Bright's going to lead us here under this yellow, and boy, tough break there for Kyle Thomas, not able to stay ahead of Eli Bright. He would have been back on the lead lap at the tail end of the field, but now he's still going to be a lap down. We had another incident, looks like, going down here through the front straightaway into turn 1. This time it involves the 88 of Ryan Brummer. Car smoking up there, that's Nick Johnson, the 44. Points leader Jesse Turner involved in this one, and he's out of the race. William Brock, the car we got our camera focused on. James Qualls involved in another wreck. James Richardson, Joseph Romero, pole sitter, Pichu London in it. Elijah Gilbert has got damage. Tony Green, Julio Cesar. Oh boy, this was a big wreck. And there's the car that I'm almost wondering if it was the cause of it. Oh, we're under caution again. Cautions breeding cautions here today at Kansas. Eli Bright just enjoying the timeout in front, whether it be under green or under yellow. Let's go back and look at a replay. Well, this was caused by a wad-up of drivers trying to get by Seth Cole, but Seth Cole actually didn't actually cause this wreck. Watch here, Elijah Gilbert in the 98. He tries to duck down underneath Seth Cole, and the 0 car of right there, Wade Brummer, gets a big run, and Gilbert just kind of came down and blocked him. And then this is where it's going to get really bad. Up the track collects Michael Haas, Pichu London. That's Cole Deaver in that mix. And just look back there. Everybody just wadded up behind it. Just nowhere to go. Nick Johnson, Joshua Osborne was in it. Richardson, Quentin Moore, Qualls. There's Tony Green, Christian Merrick Jr., Noah Pontzer in it. Boy, that was a big pile up. And again, like I said, that time it actually wasn't the 99 that caused it. It was actually his teammate in the 98, Elijah Gilbert, former winner this year. Car smoking up there, Nick Johnson. There's Cesar, there's Jesse Turner. Well, Watson's still running. Turner's points lead may be cut into again today as Turner is out of the race. And I think he's going to be joined by a number of others. Another big pile-up taking place here at Kansas. Well, after our second caution, we got away with nobody behind the wall. Not so lucky in this one, as more drivers retiring out of the race, including James Qualls, Jesse Turner, Nick Johnson, and Julio Cesar. We'll have 2 cars that'll be a lap down. And we are past the 10 to go mark. It'll be actually 8 laps to go and hit the line, so Seth Cole and William Brock will restart wherever they are, as well as the 48 of, so we have 3 cars a lap down, as well as the 48 of Kyle Thomas. Top 10 as we go back to green with 8 laps remaining. It's Eli Bright, Nicholas Romero, James Shelly, Carson Gum now up to 4th, Alexander Rowe 5th, then Jacob Rose, Daniel Voyles, Benny Watson, John Gilbert, and Chris Dollerton makes an appearance in the top 10 for the first time today. Green flag back out. Let's see if we can finish this race under green flag conditions. Shelly to the bottom for the second position. Eli Bright trying to hold them all at bay. Things get awfully wadded up there out of 2 in this double wide formation racing. James Shelly getting a heck of a draft down the back straightaway. They're 3 wide for 3rd behind him. 3 wide for the 5th position as well. Benny Watson way down to the bottom. Here comes Shelly for the race lead. Sticking it to the inside. Jacob Rose a big run. They may go 3 wide into turn 1. Will Rose test the waters? No, he jumps up to the high line instead. And James Shelly going to go to the top spot. He will move out in front, and they are going to get very racy behind them. Look at Chris Dollerton in that 43 car, 3 wide on the bottom. Jonathan Zoerlein, Paul Minnick up in the mix as well now. As the battle's on for second, Jacob Rose will take the spot. They're almost 4 wide there between 3 and 4. And Shelly beginning to scamper away a bit here as they continue to battle for second place. J Gilbert now to the bottom of the racetrack on Jacob Rose. Chris Dollerton going to stick it down in there, and the caution might be out. Is the caution out? No, we're still green. We are still green. Dollerton now looking for the second position, but they got to stop racing each other and catch James Shelly, who is continuing to pull away. Dollerton now gets clear for second place. Now does he have enough time, 5 laps, to be able to reel in James Shelly? Make it 6 laps, actually, so he does have some time. He's just got to hope now they battle for third place, so he doesn't have to worry about them, so he can start concentrating and trying to reel in that 16. Look at Daniel Voyles. What a run he got there through turn 2. He's thinking about 3 wide for third place, going down here into 3. Oh, Paul Minnick able to throw the block, though, and hang on to the spot, at least for the moment. So now it's a couple of Fords out in front. Shelly in the 16, Dollerton in the 43. Dollerton looking for his second Pizza Hut X Series win, first of the season. Shelly looking for his first career Pizza Hut X Series win. Then you got Minnick there in third. Voyles in fourth. Rose now in control of fifth place. Last time by, it was about 7/10 of a second, the separation between Shelly and Dollerton. Has Dollerton been able to close that gap up at all? He's got to, because he's running out of time. At the line, with 4 laps to go, 7/10 last time, this time just about the same. He gained about 3 100ths. He's got to gain a lot more than that, does Dollerton, if he's going to battle for the win with James Shelly before this checkered flag waves. Caution! That's going to do it! Yellow flag is out for the 4th and final time today. James Shelly is going to win his first career Pizza Hut X Series victory at Kansas Speedway under caution. And that last time by, Dollerton only gained about another 2 100ths. So even if this thing had gone green to the end, I'm not rightly sure Dollerton had enough speed to be able to reel in James Shelly for this victory. Crossing the line, it was 3 laps to go. I don't think we'll get back to green before those 3 laps of pacing are done. And I'm very curious of what brought out this final caution. Oh my goodness, there's no front end. The grill is completely gone on last week's winner, Christian Merrick Jr. Tony Green was in it. Eli Bright, who dominated the first half of this race, involved. Jonathan Zoerlein as well. Looks like we had another big wreck. This time looked like it was out of turn 2, so Shelly's about to take the white flag the next time around. Let's quickly take a look at what put us under the caution for the final time today, giving James Shelly the win here at Kansas Speedway. Well, here it was. This was a battle inside the top 10. I think it was for around the 8th position. They were 3 wide with Benny Watson, and then Eli Bright just never got off Jonathan Zoerlein. Oh boy, there's A Baranauskas involved. There's Nicholas Romero, Lopez, Colby Jackson, Wade Brummer. And then I think right there, oh my goodness, just flying in comes Christian Merrick Jr. Eli Bright's car goes flipping over. Jonathan Zoerlein's goes flipping over. My goodness, no wonder there was no front on that car. Tony Green involved there as well, and I think Michael Haas might have gotten a piece of it too. Holy cow. Just never slowed down and clobbered both the Eli Bright machine and Jonathan Zoerlein. Boy, that was some hard licks taken right there. That's what put us under the caution to finish out this race. Let's go back as the white flag has been displayed for James Shelly. Well, James Shelly's been one of those this season, just been quietly being consistent, keeping himself up near the top of the point stands. He came into today's race 6th in standings, and this is a big win for this team. Matter of fact, you think about this team in general, last year, of all drivers that made all of the starts for the year, the 16 team that finished dead last in the points. What a difference a year makes. James Shelly so far this season in 8 starts, 2 top 5 finishes, I believe. No. Is it 2 top 5? No. 3 top 10s, but never a top 5. His first top 5 of his career is going to come in the form of a checkered flag. And this could very well be putting James Shelly into the chase for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship as well, if he can continue with his consistent finishes now after this win. Chris Dollerton will have to settle for second. Voyles will get third. Fourth for Jacob Rose, and Paul Minnick gets his best career finish of 5th place here today. But the man of the hour is the Lilly Diabetes Ford Mustang of James Shelly. Checkered flag out. His first win of his Pizza Hut X Series career comes here at the Kansas Speedway. Standings will get official once everybody crosses the line. James Shelly now becomes only one of 2 drivers who was in the top 6 in the point standings coming to this race. That was a race winner. Christian Merrick Jr. the other, but Merrick's not going to be finishing this race. And the standings are indeed now official. James Shelly with the win, Dollerton second, so it's a Ford Mustang 1-2 finish. Then the Chevrolet of Voyles, the Toyota of Rose, and the Chevy of Minnick complete the top 5. J Gilbert will finish in 6th, Carson Gum in 7th, Alexander Rowe in 8th, another top 10 run for Benny Watson. So I think he will cut once again even more into Jesse Turner's points lead. And Cole Deaver, how about Deaver in that 07? He actually got involved in that big stack up on the front straightaway, that big wreck, still was able to salvage a solid top 10 run. K Lynch, our Daytona winner, 11th. M McIntire, A Baranauskas in 12th and 13th. Nicholas Romero, despite getting involved in that wreck there, that final caution, gets 14th. And Colby Jackson will get 15th. Then it's J Gilbert, Joseph Romero, Quentin Moore, Noah Pontzer, Michael Haas, Joshua Osborne, J Richardson, and pole sitter Pichu London was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Seth Cole's car didn't even look like it was worthy of running on the track after that first wreck, but he will finish 24th, 1 lap down. That's not going to do him much good, though, as he's going to be docked 25 points for the wrecking of then-leader James Qualls. Also finishing laps down were William Brock, Ryan Brommer, Kyle Thomas, Tony Green. And then out of the race were the cars of Jordan Lopez, Wade Brummer, Eli Bright, Jordan Lopez, Christian Merrick Jr., PJ Williams. Those were all due to the last caution wreck. And then out of the race due to previous incidents, Julio Cesar, Nick Johnson, Jesse Turner, James Qualls, Stuart Gratton, Ace Garcia, Charlie Buxton, and Matthew Dalio. We have gotten word that Ace Garcia and Stuart Gratton, they are okay. Christian Merrick Jr., Jonathan Zoerlein, and Eli Bright are okay. So good to hear that after those 5 drivers took some pretty heavy hits here today at Kansas Speedway. That's going to do it here today. We are 2 for 2 in a race leader being wrecked, almost technically LePaged, by a driver either a lap down slow or just barely on the tail end of the lead lap, about to be lapped in both our non-charter Hershey's Cup Series race here yesterday and today's Pizza Hut X Series race. I swear, if that happens tomorrow, we are never coming back to Kansas Speedway, because that would be like a needle in a haystack, a 1 in 1,000 chance of that happening. I thought it was a 1 in 1,000 chance of it happening in these past 2 days, but it has happened. Nonetheless, though, James Shelly awfully happy with the result as he'll take the win, his first win of the season. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you your full finishing results. Now you're seeing your point standings heading into next week's race. We are now going to cap things off tomorrow with the Hershey's Cup Series main event here at Kansas Speedway. Hopefully it'll be just as good a race and just as exciting, maybe just as predictable as it has been so far this weekend. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. We'll see you guys tomorrow.